We had only been together a few months, and I genuinely thought we had something special. She made me believe I had finally met someone who appreciated me, someone who would stand by my side no matter what. We laughed, talked for hours about the future, and built memories that felt unbreakable. I never imagined it could all collapse so quickly. It began like any other evening. I came home tired from work, but looking forward to seeing her. Something felt off immediately. She was unusually quiet, scrolling on her phone with a distant expression. I asked if she was all right, and she gave a vague, "I'm fine," but there was something in her eyes that told me otherwise. I pressed gently, hoping to understand, and suddenly, a small disagreement erupted. It wasn't about anything significant, just a miscommunication, a mixture of stress and poorly chosen words. Yet her response shocked me. Instead of trying to resolve it calmly, her tone hardened, her voice sharp. Then she said words I will never forget. "I'm going back to my ex." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. I stared at her, waiting for a retraction, some hint that she didn't mean it. But she looked at me with a strange mix of satisfaction and defiance, as if she wanted to wound me intentionally. A bitter laugh escaped me, not because it was funny, but because the absurdity of it cut so deep. After everything we had shared, after the late-night talks, the promises, the laughter, this was her choice. Over a single argument, she was willing to throw it all away. I asked if she was serious, and she shrugged, crossing her arms. Maybe I never should have left him. At least he knew how to handle me. In that moment, something inside me changed. The pain was sharp, but clarity followed immediately. I realized I didn't need to beg for someone who still carried one foot in her past. If she could say something so cruel so easily, then she had never truly been mine. I could have yelled, argued, tried to make her see reason, but I didn't. Instead, I calmly stood up, went to the bedroom, and began packing my belongings. She followed, her tone suddenly shifting to concern, asking what I was doing. I told her plainly that if she wanted to return to her ex, nothing was stopping her, but I would not compete for her affection. I refused to lower myself to fight for a place in her life when she clearly didn't value me enough to choose me fully. Her face shifted from arrogance to shock. She hadn't anticipated me walking away. She had expected my pain to make me chase her, to prove how much I cared. But she had misjudged me. I zipped my bag, gave her one last look, and said, "You'll realize what you lost, but by then it will be too late." Then I left, leaving her in stunned silence. Driving away, my chest was heavy, but there was also a sense of relief. The betrayal stung, undeniably, but deep down I knew leaving was the right choice. Staying would have meant living in constant fear of her returning to someone else at the first sign of difficulty. Love should never be conditional, or feel like a contest. If a single fight could make her run back, she was never prepared for anything real. The days afterward were tough. I missed her, the laughter, the small gestures, the moments that felt so genuine. But I held on to the memory of her words, the coldness in her tone, the way she tried to diminish me. That memory became my strength, a reminder that I deserved more. Weeks later, she reached out. Messages, calls, long paragraphs about how she'd made a mistake, how she had only said it in anger, how she missed me and wanted another chance. I didn't respond. Not out of spite, but because I finally respected myself enough to understand that love built on manipulation and threats isn't love at all. Walking away was the hardest thing I've ever done, yet also the wisest. Sometimes, the first real conflict exposes everything about a person, their true heart, their priorities, their character. Her choice revealed hers immediately. She said she was going back to her ex, and that was all the answer I needed. I left and I never looked back.